Hey guys, Andy here, and I'm here to bring you all things mundane and makeup related. That's your vibe. I'd love it if you would subscribe and be part of my little slice of the internet. And in today's video, we have my October update for the Colourpan Project Pan. So if you want to see rollouts, roll-ins, and what I've been working on, let's go ahead and just get on into it. Right, we can just start with things that I'm working on, which should just be, one item. Everything else I've hit goal on. The only item that I have left from last month and the rollovers is the ColourPop Blow and Smoke palette, which does look like this, and I haven't used this at all yet. I'm working on a lot of palettes, and though this would lend itself very nicely to other palettes, just haven't done that yet. But it is October, spooky season. I will get this going. But everything else that I was working on, I have hit goal on. So we'll just start at the top. I did hit my third and final use on September 10th. So it was right after I had filmed, because I filmed early for last month's update on the Jelly Much Shadow in Moon and Stars, which this is the shade. It looks more coral like here than it actually comes out. It comes out a very pink color. I'm gonna keep this and use it because like Jelly Much Shadows don't stay wet and jelly for the longest amount of time. And I do keep it closed pretty tightly. I do keep the lid in it, but I don't think I would buy Jelly Much Shadows again. Like, I just don't love the texture of these, like, anywhere as much as I love Super Shock Shadows. So, and I also don't love this color. So, I got my 3 uses, though, so it is a rollout. Next, we have the Loose Shadow in the shade Camino. And I got my third use on September 30th. I used it twice in September to get my third use on this. It's a Superstar Loose Pigment. And it is this bright orange color with little bits of glitter. I am going to declutter this one. I do really like the color. It's a very nice pigment. There's nothing wrong with this one, but I have, and I'm actually working on this, another orange glitter that I just prefer this one more. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. So that's going to go. But I did hit my 3 uses on it. So it's still a rollout. And I have started in all my projects, like highlighting them when I've hit goal and we've rolled them out so that I can see better what I'm working on. Next, we have the Lost in Love palette, which I needed to No Pan Left Behind. So the palette looks like this, and let me get out my No Pan Left Behind folders so I can tell you how I did it, because I'm pretty sure ColourPop Lost in Love. So in like this shape and this glitter, I used in August in one look. And the look came out fine. This shade is stunning. I wish the whole look came out more coral, because this orangey coral shade is chef's kiss. This shade is a dud in the palette. It's the shade Falling. It has like no pigment to it. It just comes out very blah, which is why I ended up using one of the glitters, because this just did absolutely nothing. So then in September, because I hit goal September 20th, I used the rest of the shades, but it was these two, and these two, which I liked that look a lot better. It came out very mauvey pink. All those shades worked very nicely. Like I said, I wish there was a lighter shade in the palette, which, you know, should be this one. But this one just, it doesn't do anything. So I might end up replacing that shade in the palette, but I don't know. But everything else worked well. I liked the pressed glitters. I'm a fan of ColourPop pressed glitters. But my favorite shade in the palette was All My Heart. I loved that color. So like I said, I hit my No Pan Left Behind goal on that September 20th. So we can highlight that one. So then we have the blush stick in the shade 25-8, which I'm actually wearing today. That's the color to get my third use. And today is October 11th. I am filming this a couple days early since the only thing I had left to work on was that Blow and Smoke palette. But I got my third use today, so let me go ahead and highlight it. And we can talk about it. It's fine. Again, I don't think I would buy any more blush sticks, because if I'm using a stick, I know it's not the end of the world, but I prefer a stick that I can draw on my face and blend out. And these, you have to take the brush, or they're not a blendable formula. It's like it's starting to go off. I can smell, like, it doesn't smell bad, but I have so much in here. And since I don't love the formula, even though I like the shade, I'm going to go ahead and declutter that one. And actually, let me write that down, that I decluttered that. So then we move on to the back, because we're on to the back page. We have the Super Shock in So Quiche, which I hit my third use. I used all of everything else, the next 4 items. I used them all in September, all 3 uses on everything. So I hit goal on this September 23rd. We got a big dip in there. So this is like a goldy brown. So there you can see more of the brown with that beautiful pink flip. I really like this shade for a neutral, because it's a spicy neutral. It's really nice. So this is a favorite. Loved having it in the project. So let me just highlight all of these since we are done with all of them, and then I can put the highlighter up. So next we have the shade, the Super Shock in Creepin', which this is from the Haunted Mansion collection. So I have like a pretty nice dip on that. It's an icy white to that blue. I hit goal on this on September 24th. This went with my Jujubee and my Battleship palette really well as a nice like inner corner shade. It's a nice shade. Worked well. I like it. It is good. We'll just skip to the last Super Shock, which was also from the Haunted Mansion collection. This is the shade I and You. This one, so it's like a dark, very dark blue with a lighter blue shift. It's pretty. It's darker than I normally go for, but it is very pretty on the eyes. This also paired very nicely with my Jujubee and my Battleship palette, because it's the Jeffree Star Blue Blood palette. So it paired very well. So I do like it. It's just a little darker than I usually go for, but it is very pretty. I will be doing a Super Shock ranking and swatch video at the end of the year in December of all of my Super Shocks. And then the last item that I was working on is my highlighter, my Super Shock highlight, in the shade You're a Catch. And I hit goal on this guy in September 23rd. Oh, I hit goal on the other one September 24th, the other Super Shock. So I was trying to focus right here because it's just got like a lot of buildup right there. Didn't really make much of a difference at all. But I love this Super Shock. So, highlighter. It's fantabulous. So we have to roll in 3, 6, 7, 8 products. So that is exciting and terrifying. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Honestly, with the amount of palettes I'm working on, if we get any palettes, I'm okay with one palette. We can roll in one more palette. Any other palettes, I'm going to re-roll for right now. Because I have so many other Super Shocks. I have loose pigments from ColourPop. I have eyeliners from ColourPop. I now have some lips from ColourPop. So I'm okay with one more palette, but then after that, we're re-rolling. And normally I wouldn't do that, but I'm a little overwhelmed with palettes at the moment, so I hope you guys understand and are okay with that. At the end of the day, it is my project, and you can fight me in the comments. But we have 57 options. Granted, most of those are palettes, but you know, it's fine. So I'm going to screen record. It's going to be probably right there for you guys, but let's go ahead and get started. The first item is going to be the Super Shock in YOLO. Super Shock YOLO. So next we have Super Shock in Mountain Lion. I don't think I've used that shade. Third, Super Shock shade Frog. I know I like that shade. Watch me not get a palette at all because I talked so much shit. Piggy Bank eyeliner. I love that eyeliner. In Piggy Bank. That is a deep dark purple. The Wild Child palette. That is new. So no more palettes. Alright, air conditioning. Super Shock in Fruit Punch. Hang on. That is in another project, so we will roll again. So sorry. Blue Moon palette, we will roll again. Going Coconuts palette, we're going to roll again. The Jelly Much and Forever Valentine. We roll one out, we roll one in. Forever Valentine. 2 more. Nope, no palettes. Rolling again. The Scales, a loose shadow. That'll be fun. And it's my birthday month, and that's my birthday sign. And the very last item is the Super Shock in Dost Thou Comprehend. So, I am going to go ahead and go pull all of those products, and I will be back in just a moment for you guys, and we'll swatch them. So I'll be right back. Alright, so it took me a second because I couldn't figure out what YOLO was, which is the first item we pulled, so we will just start with that. But yeah, I couldn't figure out what it looked like, what color it was, anything. I had to Google it because I could have sworn it was a Super Shock Big Blush, and I was like, no, that's the shade Jump Turn. So the Super Shock YOLO is a big old purple, and actually, let me move my book because I don't want anything potentially spilling out. Everything is a 3-use goal except the palette. The palette is no pan left behind. So, here is YOLO. It's never been used. Let's give her a nice, good swatchy swatch. That's pretty. I see, I think it might be silver or pink glitter in it. But that is a very pretty shade. So, I don't think it'll be too difficult to get. The Super Shocks, usually, as long as I'm working on shades, like palettes that go with it, aren't generally too hard. So let's just get the other Super Shocks. We have Dost Thou Comprehend, which has been in other projects. It is a very nice orange. She has been used and abused. I love this orange. Alright, that was a crappy swatch. Hang on. So it's an orange with like gold and orangey glitters. It's a beautiful swatch. It's from the Hocus Pocus collection. It's like the only thing I got from it. So, very, very nice. Those would make a cool look. Then we have Frog, which has been used like a couple times. This has a gorgeous amount of glitter in it. This one makes a beautiful topper because it has like no base, but it's just got multi-chrome glitters in it. Love it. That one will be so easy to use. Not even gonna lie. Alright, move. I need room. And then we have Mountain Lion, which is one of my newest Super Shocks. All I've done is swatch it, because I swatched it when I got it. Ooh. So it's got like a white base to a pinky red. It's pretty subtle. It's pretty on the finger, so that might be one that it'll translate better on the eye. We'll have to see. And then we have the Piggy Bank eyeliner, which looks like that right there. 3 uses on the eyeliner as well. We have the Jelly Much. So Forever Valentine looks like this. Let me get out brushes for these. So I've never used this shade. And it broke my nail. We love that. So oh, this one's pretty. So that's Forever Valentine. I feel like this one will be so much easier to use because I could use it as a highlighter, as a cream highlight. So, but how dare you break my nail off? That's petty. And then we have the Scales, which is a Kathleen Lights Loose shadow, which is also my astrology sign, like thingy, because I'm a Libra. So let's see. How does this... Because I've decluttered every one of these loose shadows because they are just... They're chunky and they don't go well on the eye, but it is pretty, but it is chunky. Like, it's chunky on the brush and it's just balling up in the container. So we'll have to see, because I do have a rule. What I do, if you're new here, if I use something once and I don't like it, I'll declutter it. Like, I'm not going to force myself to use something if I'm going to declutter it. So, we'll see. Decluttered every other one of them, but it is very, very pretty. So, we shall see. Let me wipe these off, and then we will swatch the palette. Because I always swatch the palettes out in whole. And I'm very excited to have rolled in this palette because I just got it in the ColourPop mystery box that I posted, the Boo box. So this is the Wild Child palette, and it's just a nice neutral brown palette. And it's funny because, you know, I'm working on the Blowing Smoke palette, which is blacks and grays, and then I roll in this, which is browns. I think that juxtaposition is just hilarious. So, get out. Makeup wipe my hand off. And let's get to swatching. So we have #spotted, we have fierce, and we have ground crew. Whew. Pigmented. I know I said that when I unboxed this because I swatched this palette because this was a palette I didn't own. So, it is still so pigmented. We have Close-Up, Lashes, which is a pressed glitter, and Grasslands. So, the middle one is the pressed glitter, which again, I don't mind. I like ColourPop's pressed glitters. That sequin shade, because that's a sequin, but that's a sequin shade with so much glitter. Like, normally their sequin shades have just the most minuscule amount of glitter, but because I also love ColourPop's sequin shades, and I feel like most people don't. But I think they're gorgeous. They blend out so nicely. Then we have Hard to Get, Icon, and Feisty, which are so dark. So that's the palette as a whole. And I think it's super pretty. So that is going to be everything that we are rolling in. I can't believe we got so many Super Shocks, but we would have gotten a whole bunch of palettes had I not re-rolled for everything. Which again, I hope you guys understand. I'm already working on an ungodly amount of palettes that I don't want to roll in even more, that I have to no pan left behind, and then we're sitting here every update. Hey, I've worked on 2 shades. Hey, I've not touched the palette at all. I'd rather, you know, maybe every update roll in 1 or 2 palettes. Because eventually we're going to get to the point where I only have palettes to work on. I know that that's going to happen. And at that point, we'll just be working on palettes. And it is what it is. I don't know what I'm going to do at that point. I'll probably end the project at that point because those palettes can just roll over into one of my other projects. But that's neither here nor there for this update. I hope you guys enjoyed my October update. I'm going to fix my nail now, but that's going to do it. Leave all your questions, comments, concerns in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.